What's up? It's Marty here. We got another episode of cheap, almost free collecting tips. Today we're talking about bartering. Here we go. So I got a couple, I guess you can call them rules for bartering. So kind of the main two rules are be respectful and be reasonable. And if you can't do those things, don't barter. And there's certain situations where you can and certain situations where you can't. And you have to be both. You can't just be one. So, for example, if you go to Best Buy, they will price match, reasonable, be respectful, ask for it nicely, right? Don't just expect them to do it. They're not going to give you someone else's price unless you ask. But they're not going to give you less than that. Reasonable. They're not going to barter with you. They're going to match a lower price at another retail store, but they're not going to match a price at eBay, for example, right? They might price match Amazon. That might be an exception, but they're not going to do eBay. Another example. You go to a pawn shop. They're going to be more flexible. Maybe you go in, ask them, hey, I haven't been here before. How flexible are your guys' prices? They're going to say not flexible at all. Or they might say, we might be able to work something out depending on what you get. So, reasonable, respectful. Another example. You go to the same pawn shop. They have way overpriced items. You can tell right away. You haven't talked to anybody yet. Things are twice as much as you would be willing to pay for them. You can be respectful and ask them to pay half their price, but they're not going to look very reasonable. Even though might know the market value and they don't, you can't tell them what to do. You can't tell them how to price their things. Telling them that they're wrong or that they don't know what they're doing isn't going to help anything. It's going to make them feel stupid, and it's going to lead to a poor relationship to the point where when they do have good prices, they're not going to be willing to give you a deal on it. Or when they have something that you really want, they're not going to be able to give you a deal on it. They're going to be able to, but they're not going to want to. So, that's kind of where everything lies. Now, another good example where I get things very often is Facebook, Let Go, OfferUp, things like that. Can even throw an eBay in there. Whatever the listed price is, especially on Facebook, OfferUp, Let Go, things like that, always, always, always give them a lower offer or ask them what's the lowest you are willing to take right now. And in most cases, offer a little bit less than that. And obviously, just maybe some people don't know this, but whenever you make an offer, in 90% of the cases, offer lower than you're willing to pay. Because if you offer the most that you're willing to pay, most of the time it's not going to work. Now, if a game's like $20 and you're willing to pay $15, don't offer $10. Maybe offer $12, $13, something like that. But in that case, I would just offer the $15 and be like, hey, that's the best I can do. If you want it, great. If not, I can't do it. And again, be respectful when you say things like that. Don't give them attitude. Don't make them feel like you think you're better than them. Just be respectful. And that's working with anybody. So going back to things on Facebook, always offer less than what they're asking. Most people don't expect to get what they're asking. Now, the reason I suggest that or note that is because when I've sold things, there's been a lot of times where people have not even thought about giving me an offer. And again, there's also the example of if somebody is giving you a really good deal, like I bought a 3DS and a 2DS for $50. I was the first person to comment. A lot of other people were interested. I got it because I was the first. If I would have tried to offer them something, it wouldn't have worked. So you got to be respectful. And even on eBay, lots of things say buy now or best offer, right? if they have that or best offer option, on eBay sometimes it's a little iffy. If you really want the item and the buy it now price is good, fine. But they don't have to take the best offer. You don't know how many other offers they have. It's not like there's kind of first person in line type of thing like a lot of people do on Facebook. They might get an offer and it lasts for 2 days. And you don't really have control over when they accept it. You can't really have that conversation with them. Give them an offer, leave a comment. Some people will counter back right away. Other people will wait to see if they have any other offers, and then they'll counter back. So sometimes that's something that you can't really rely on a lot. Another thing that can be helpful is when you're trying to sell something, buy something on eBay, if they have a buy it now price. Usually you don't want to do this for auctions because that's kind of a jerk move, but buy it now price and it's a little bit too high for you, they don't have the offer option, send them a message. A lot of the times they'll be willing to lower it if it's a couple bucks or a small percentage of what the actual overall cost or profit for them would be. Because really, they only get 80% of that. So maybe you offer them $5 less. To them, that's only $4 less. So that's another good thing to keep in mind too. But with that, hopefully those tips for bartering are helpful. I feel like it could kind of go on and on. Unfortunately, I wrote a script and I had to wing it because I don't know what happened to it. So next time, fingers crossed, I'm not going to lose my script and we're going to do a lot better. So stay tuned till next time and I'll see you later.